Sometimes when people move to Tucson, Arizona, they want to purchase a home right away. But what if you want to rent for a while or get to know the city a little bit better? Or to save up your money for a down payment for a home? What are the safest areas of town to rent in? What are the least expensive areas of town to rent in? What are the areas with the best public transportation? All of this and more coming right up. Hey everyone, it's Kimberly, your go-to real estate agent in Tucson, Arizona, and today we are talking about rental properties in Tucson, Arizona, and by that I'm including apartments, plus any condos, townhomes, and houses for rent. As a real estate agent, people ask me all the time if I can help them find a rental property, and unfortunately I cannot. That's just not in my job description, but I still wanted to make this video so that people moving here from other places have a little bit of information about where they can go to find a rental property and how they can find one that works best for them. At the end of this video, I'll tell you where I, as a born and raised Tucsonan, would probably choose to rent a property if I were new to the city, so make sure you stick around to the end of this video. If you like what you hear and you want to learn more about Tucson, Arizona, make sure to follow along with this channel and all the other videos about things to know about and do and see around Tucson and the surrounding areas. And of course, like and subscribe to this channel, and don't forget to reach out to me if and when you're ready to buy or sell a Tucson home. All my contact information is in the description below each video on this channel. And just to clarify, if you're moving here and you're planning to rent, even if I can't help you find a rental property, you're still welcome to reach out to me and ask questions about the city and surrounding areas. If I know the answers, I will gladly help you out. So what do you need to know about apartments and rentals in Tucson, Arizona? Well, to start, I want to let you know that this video is not going to be me giving a bunch of recommendations for a bunch of different apartment complexes all throughout the city. And that's because rental opportunities change all the time. Apartment complexes get shut down and new ones open up and different management takes over and things change all the time. And I want to keep this video current and up to date. So this video is more about how to find a rental property in Tucson, not so much about specific rental properties here. That being said, I always recommend the website apartments.com for anyone looking to rent when they come to Tucson, Arizona. This website has all kinds of rental properties, not just apartments. This website has houses and condos and townhomes also for rent. And you can search by price and size and location, and you can even search by dog or cat friendly. So that's a really good website to help you out when you're moving to Tucson and you just don't know where to start. But if you're moving here and planning to get a rental property, what area of town should you be focusing on? Well, Tucson's a big city and we're very spread out. We don't grow up, we grow out. And by that, I mean we don't have really big high-rise apartment complexes here like some places do. We're gonna have rentals all over the place. It's funny because in the past year or two, I've seen a lot of investors selling off their investment properties because the landlords just want out of the landlord game. But I'm also seeing a lot of investors, especially from other places, purchase rental properties to rent out so that they can beat inflation or use those properties as an Airbnb or as a vacation home or whatever. So we have plenty of rentals around here, and they aren't all just apartments. There's a lot of private owners who own houses and condos and townhomes all over the city and the suburbs, and some of them are pretty nice. But if you're moving here and you're planning on renting here, I'll tell you the same thing that I tell all my clients who are planning on purchasing a home here. It sounds obvious, but not everybody always does this. Plan to live where you will plan to be spending the majority of your time. It will make your commute so much easier. I've got videos out about our roads and traffic and congestion in the city, and I also talk a little bit about transportation in Tucson a little later in this video, but it's not always super easy to get from one side of the city to another, especially since we don't have a lot of freeways around here. So just do your absolute best to find a place that is close to all the things you're going to need. So if you want to live near your brother who lives in Marana, make sure you look for a place near your brother. Don't go get a rental property in Tanque Verde, for example. If you're going to be working at Davis-Monthan Air Force Base, make sure you find a place to rent in or near the base. You probably don't want to be living in Green Valley. A lot of people working on base here end up either living on base or renting on the east side, especially in Rita Ranch area or even Vail. If you'll be working or going to school on the U of A campus, you may not want to live in Sahuarita, for example, you'll probably want to get an apartment near the university. There are many apartments near the university, or there are a lot of rentals in all directions of the campus, and you could maybe even find a place in or near Sam Hughes neighborhood or in or near the Catalina foothills areas. Both those areas will be more expensive than apartments near the university, but they are very nice areas and they will still be very easy commutes, which is what you'll want. We also have a lot of student housing here, which I'm sure the university will help you out with if that's what you need. I know that it seems obvious to rent a place close to what you'll be doing or needing, but in my opinion, location is just as important as the place itself, especially in a city like Tucson, where you could potentially end up doing a lot of driving if you don't live near the things that you like to do on a regular basis. Another thing people ask me about all the time is safety in Tucson. I have videos on this channel talking about crime statistics, but I always recommend the website neighborhoodscout.com. It's got a really helpful and useful crime map of the city, so you can tell the different neighborhoods and which ones are traditionally lower crime. Obviously, anything can happen anywhere, and everyone should use common sense no matter where they are, and I really don't recommend anyone be out walking around after dark by themselves pretty much anywhere in any city, anytime, especially if you aren't familiar with the area, but that's just me. And there are certain areas of town that are traditionally higher crime, but in my opinion, during the day wouldn't really be a problem to go out there. So it's really just after dark that I would sort of stay away from some of those areas, but you can never be too careful. So while you're trying to get used to the city, just make sure you use common sense and stay away from areas that seem a little sketchy. Let's talk about public transportation and getting around Tucson. We do have a lot of city buses to get you around Tucson, and in my opinion, the closer you are to Midtown, the more opportunities you have for that public transportation. The more you get away from Midtown, the more you get into the suburbs, you're not going to get those city buses if that's what you want to be taking. Tucson also offers a Sunlink Tucson streetcar, which connects 5 popular areas. That would be the University of Arizona, 4th Avenue, Main Gate Square, downtown Tucson, and the Mercado District. Check out the website suntran.com to learn more about the city bus and the streetcar routes and where you can find the nearest stops. But here's the thing that I think every Tucsonan should know about, whether they're renting or owning a home, but especially if you're new to Tucson. We've got this really cool thing here called the Loop, and the Loop is over 135 miles of paved roads specifically for bicyclists and pedestrians. So if you're moving to Tucson, you don't have a car, but you live near the Loop, you can hop on the Loop on your bike and just ride down to wherever you want to be, whether it's your work or a restaurant or shopping or a medical facility or whatever. So I often tell people to keep in mind, you may want to live near the Loop if you plan to ride your bike around the city, and then maybe you can get a job also working near the Loop and kind of strategically plan your move to Tucson around those locations. I have a video out about the Loop and cycling in Tucson, so you can check out that video after this one, but Tucson is a really cycling friendly city. So if you're planning on moving here and you don't have a car and you'd prefer not to take a public transportation around the city, you might be just fine with just your bike. So where would I live if I was brand new to Tucson and I was looking for a rental property? Well, I'm going to answer this as a born and raised Tucsonan, not necessarily as a real estate agent. So this is just my opinion as someone who's lived here almost 40 years and knows the city really well. If I was moving here, I would probably most likely try to find a rental property in the Catalina foothills area. And by that, I'm kind of referring to anywhere near River Road or north of River Road. And there are so many reasons why I would focus on that area. First of all, there's a ton of things to do and see in that area. So you're going to be close to shopping and food and malls and medical facilities and clinics and shops, businesses, public libraries, everything. This means that not only will you always have easy access to a bunch of things to do, but you also probably be able to find a job nearby pretty easily. And then you'll be able to get to that job pretty easily once you have it. You're also going to be really close to all types of hiking opportunities, Sabino Canyon, all types of cycling, and the Loop runs right across River Road, so if you live near River Road, you can just hop on River. You can get to wherever you need to go pretty easily, assuming the other place is near the Loop. The Catalina foothills area is absolutely beautiful. You've got the Santa Catalina Mountains to the north. You've got gorgeous city views to the south. It's also a very traditionally low crime area. It's pretty easy access to almost anywhere you need to get that in the city, because especially on where you live in the foothills area, you're almost midtown. So if you need to drive out to Tanque Verde or Oro Valley or down to Davis-Monthan Air Force Base or to the university, you're pretty close to most of those areas. Another nice thing about the Catalina foothills is that there is so much to choose from in regards to places to live. Yes, there are plenty of really, really wealthy people with mansions on the hill, but you also have a ton of rental properties as far as apartment buildings and lots of condos and townhomes and even houses for rent in those areas, because a lot of people who own those properties don't live here year-round, so they often rent them out whenever they're not here. So it's not too hard to find something in the Catalina foothills for rent, even if you're not looking for something to rent out all year round. Maybe you're just needing something for a couple of months while you get established in the city, and the foothills would be a really nice area of town to live in while you get set up in Tucson and get a job and get your finances in order before you purchase a home here. However, the problem in the Catalina foothills is that everything is much more expensive there, whether you're buying or renting, so just be aware of that. I hope you've learned a little bit about Tucson rental properties and how to find a property to rent in Tucson. Fortunately, I don't generally specialize in rental properties here, but I get so many questions about renting that I wanted to make a video to help folks out, especially if they're brand new to Tucson and have no idea where to start looking. If you learned anything today, don't be shy. Hit the like and subscribe buttons so we can be friends and hang out together in future Tucson videos. Make sure to explore the rest of this channel to learn about things to do and see in the city and surrounding areas, and of course to follow along about real estate information in Southern Arizona. When you're ready to buy or sell in Tucson or our suburbs, reach out to me and I'll help you out. All my contact information is in the description below each video on this channel. Thanks for hanging out with me today, and I'll see you in the next Tucson real estate video.